Hey everybody, it's Bust with Battles with Bust number 72. Today we will be doing our first battles of the World Walker expansion, and we will be doing that with Viktor Bard. And so, Bard is one of the new champions. If you're not familiar with him, he doesn't belong to a faction. And he has the origin ability that lets you do two things. It lets you include any card in your deck that generates charms, and then also generates a charm into your deck every turn of the game for every Bard in your deck. And that second ability is the big one that we're looking to take advantage of here today. We are going to be loading up our deck with charms and then cycling through it as quickly as possible. If you're not familiar with I keep calling them charms. If you're not familiar with the chimes, it's basically a trap for your own deck. You get put either on the top card of your deck or into a random card in your deck. Then when you draw that card, it gives a random unit in your hand +1/+1. And so we're playing a handful of the cards that pass out the chimes. We have Bird the Bell Ringer, and then I initially thought Esmus was going to be completely Garbo, but this one turned out to be okay as well. And so we have the Bard generating them in every turn. And then we also have Bird and we have Esmus to generate them to the top of our deck. And then the way that we're looking to take advantage of this, the Esmus kind of illustrates it both ways, and that we want the chimes, and then we also want the Flame Chompers. And so the Flame Chompers is the unit that we're looking to take advantage of with all of this card draw. We should ideally be able to play them for free. It should give us some good cycle with all of our looters. And then just have a high quality unit. Getting a single +1/+1 onto a Flame Chompers can be big. If you make it into a 2 or a 3 track one, that just takes down anything in the game. And then Esmus is also here to help give the support and boost up our Flame Chompers as well. And so, otherwise, we do still carry the fairly standard removal package of the 3 Mystic Shots, the 3 Get Exciteds. We're playing 2 Suit Ups here. We're doing all of this cycle, and our units can be kind of small. And so it's nice to have a bit of combat trick there. And my thoughts and feelings on Bard from the get-go where he runs into the Sun Disk problem. That's where we talk about to where you kind of need to have overwhelm, elusive, or rallies to close out a lot of games. And we're going with the single elusive copy here in the Sumpworks map. That should give us an additional way to send in a large unit, sneak in some damage. It's nice to just put it on Bard so he can attack without worrying about combat. You get the more chimes in your deck. It's fairly versatile early and fairly versatile late. And so that's our big trump card in the deck, if you will, to bring the pain upon our opponents. And so, with that being that, you all know what comes up next. We do pay the pay-to-win price, and it's not that bad now, right? You know, the new cards come out, you get to pay the pay-to-win price on some commons, and we're going to pay it onto Bird today. He's going to be getting that premium treatment. Our opponent's going to see him come down on turn 1 and be like, "Oh shit, Bust, you must be all about it if you're making the new cards premium on day 1." We really appreciate that. That's what they'll all say. So let's get to it. We're calling this one Astral Slide. If you're not familiar with Magic from the early 2000s, this is probably before some of you were even born. So I'm sure I'm sure you're very familiar with it. But that's what the last time in Magic when a big set of the cycling cards was around, and there was an enchantment called Astral Slide to where if you cycled a card, you got to flicker away a unit, and then there was the card Lightning Rift, to where if you cycled a card, you got to pay a manage and deal 2 damage to something. It was a fairly potent deck at the time of its release. But here, we don't want any of these cards. We're looking for the cheap cycle cards. We're looking for the 1-cost dudes like Esmus and Bird, and we're looking for ways to get the Flame Chompers going. And so, ideally, we would have a little bit more time to load up some charms on our bros here, but I don't feel completely horrible just spewing stuff out when we have Esmus in our hand for turn 2. Get a decent little thing going here with the Flame Chompers. All right, we're ready to grow now. Get out of here. Give me that value attack. Appreciate it, bruh. Uh-oh, he's playing cards? Wasn't expecting cards. Unspeakable Horror is fine. Okay. I was like, oh shit, is he playing combat tricks on us? Alright, my dude. Here we go. We're getting the chimes now. Gigantic bell ringer. Feels good. Feels good. Their units are so small. Get that Mystic Shot right on the Draven. Gigantic board. This feels pretty good. It's slightly awkward in that we would like to get excited whatever he plays. Like, we're getting at least one Chime next turn, but I think we're good to just open attack. Oh. Oh, we picked up a cheap unit, though. I mean, he's playing the like this Rumble deck. We shouldn't have to worry too much about AoE kind of things coming out of this. I think we can come in and just drop down the Flame Chompers. Got all the Flame Chompers today. Dang.
Baby, don't fail me now.
Rumble's a little awkward. We can just hook him out of combat. Let's just start going to face. Ain't nothing wrong with that. We do have a real question, though, do we want to put 1 or 2 damage onto Rumble? We should probably just go ahead and do the 2 damage, so we can realistically hook kill him the next turn if we need to. I don't think the 1 point of damage to face here is as important. He'll only be up to 11 damage off of his attack here, so we should be fairly safe in those terms. Now here's kind of the slightly awkward thing you'll run into with these, is when you draw the Boom Baboon, if it has the Chime attached to it, then it will get the Chime. But if we would say draw a Mystic Shot with a Chime attached to it, then we would just lose out on the damages for the turn. Okay. And as I was saying, I don't think that 1 damage is gonna matter. It of course matters now. It matters now. We got the like 9 damage ish. We can hook Rumble out of combat, but this is fairly awkward. One short, and then he had the impact thing to make him grow a little bit bigger. It's like, I think we're kind of okay with it. We can add in the Flame Chompers and then just oh, he didn't do anything. Well, I'm going to assume that some shenanigans are afoot. This guy is clearly up to something. If he's not playing anything with his 6 mana, he could have played the Twin Blade Revenant. Something's about to happen. Whirling Death. Okay, gotcha. So he's going to be able to generate some stuff, but he should be fairly far away from lethal. Rummage is a nice addition. We'll sort of get a draw 2 out of it. Whoa! Spell Shield, Impact, Overwhelm. He's got all the everywhere buffs. Do we have time to mess around with this? We have the 6 health out of the 2 Flame Chompers. So this is 13 coming at us. That would leave us at 3. Okay, we can play it slow. We can get the full value here. Really? Oh, these all have impact. It didn't matter. I guess we could have cycled with the Sump Dredger, but we would have still been short on health. Nice, dude. GG. I haven't seen those shenanigans yet out of our test games that I've gotten together. Oh shit, we didn't even die? How did we not die? I just went ahead and marked it as 0-1. We missed something there. Huh. Well, alright then. I was pretty sure that put a lethal amount on the old mathematics tool. Is that our way out with the Poro Cannon? We're a little bit short on damage with the Poro Cannon. It would only get him to 1. I think that's where we're at, though. Let's rummage. Maybe we'll hit something big. Bard's big. You are a big boy, Bard, but you're not the answer to the problem we have right now. Maybe dude just doesn't have a unit in his hand, right? I think he still has that 4 attack fearsome thing, but Yeah, he's still got the Twin Blade Revenant. You got to see the Bard animation, no? That counts for something, right? That counts for something. Man. If we'd at least gotten that point of damage in, we could try and draw to get excited, but that didn't come together. Alright, GG, my dude. Come on, kitty. You got a kitty one to hang out. And so yeah, no, I promised you all that I was going to start off with Annie for the first video. Sorry about that. I didn't do it. That's what you get for believing people on the internet. They just come out and lie to you. I did mess around with quite a bit of Annie. I don't think Gen Annie's very good. I didn't even bother with it. I've been kind of messing around with some varieties of like kind of taking advantage of rallies and scouts and trying to mess around with some things in those terms. Mainly looking to use Misfortune and Annie together. I wasn't really happy with any of the stuff I assembled, so it just kind of moved on and moved forward without completely making the video yet. But here, man, I think it's safe to just pass. We aren't missing out on that much. I don't think we have to try and be like the most aggressive deck in the world. And I want to. It's like I want to get some value out of this Flame Chompers, but we're immediately going to get a second one. All right. Let's change our position here. The kitty came to hang out. She's so acrobatic. She jumped right up here without putting a single claw on my arm. It was fucking wild. I appreciate it.
Go on, Fanny. It's like I taught you.
Bringing in the stuns. You got it. I think I wanted... It's tough. Like, I don't want to just be discarding the stress testing. I want to get the value out of this thing. But the two Poros would be quite good this turn. I mean, we could always just discard the Sumpworks map, but I don't think we can give up on our discards that easily. Okay. Give me some of those chimes, game. Give me some of them. Alright, let's start with the stress test. Picked up a card we could play, that's fair. Still haven't hit any chimes. It's wild. We'll definitely hit one now. Just put it right on top. Good to go. And so now we have the unit we need to boost the Chompers. If he gets a stun onto our Esmus, that would be fairly annoying, but doesn't appear to be the case. Okay. I'm fine to give him the value block. We very easily fill out our board, and so getting a couple points of chip damage on the bird should help us take it down. Okay. He's running out of stuff to do. He's only got 3 cards in hand at this point. Alright, Bard, let's boom him. You bet to get that Sumpworks map. Now, the thing that blew my mind with this, the way I initially looked at this deck as a kind of way to go about things was, you look at Bard, and you're like, okay, he's got this thing, he wants to see the total stats of allies or whatever get increased, and I was like, cool, we'll just play Vi. Vi is pretty happy with getting these abilities kind of where we're just like charting the spells on the board. She's happy with Sumpworks map. She's just going to help our Bard grow, but it doesn't work with Vi. I don't know if total stats means it has to be like a +1/+1 or something. I don't think I've seen this go up in odd numbers. And so it's been a bit of a pain not having that function exactly how I expected it to. But he's ready for battle now, that's for certain. We'll give the board one of these. Take down the Mana Soul Student. This is the most important unit that he has right now. Just take a trade on the smaller one and then offer up the same deal with the other Sunhawk. Shrink it up a little bit, and then we can take it down with one of our Flame Chompers next time. And then again, we have no trouble keeping our board full. Man, we got all the chimes in our deck now, right? We got 20? 20 chimes with 26 cards. Got to drop this get excited somewhere. I want to get this stress testing out of our hand. Whenever we want to get the flame chompers on board, we can just open with the poro cannon. But the question is, do we want to go after Jen or do we want to go after the thing that we're like going to get a kill on? And I think we're good to just go after the Thorn of the Rose. Well, we can put damage on Jen just with the intent of getting a hook kill on him later. I think that sounds fine. Picked up a get excited for free. Not bad. Sure.
Clumsy footwork.
Now this is kind of an interesting spot. Like our deck is starting to get loaded up with the chimes, right? We've got 19 with 25 cards left. We're almost to the point where we should be drawing one every turn. And I'll kind of want to make sure we have a unit in our hand. And so with this, I think I want to burst the Flame Chompers on the board, get the double Poros in hand, and then discard a Poro to kill Jin. And this way, if we draw some chimes next turn, we still have them loading up on a unit. To where if we just had the Poro Cannon Mystic Shot in hand, we wouldn't have the opportunity to add anything. All right. Not quite lethal, but we got decent control of this board. Sure. You got your big dude. Tybulk. Fucking riot. Printing all these cards that I can't pronounce. It's not cool. Not cool. There we go. There's some chimes. Took a little while to get that one rolling, but they finally hit. Get my board all them stats. I appreciate it. You're a good dude, Bard. Check out the size of that Poro, bruh. It's bringing it in, sure. Wow, this guy just kills our dude? Oh, his ability deals an additional +1. Okay. So we take 9 like this, and then we can... Does Flame Chompers die? No, we can Flame Chomp the Greyback. We could just Mystic Shot this Greyback if we want. I think that's probably a little greedy in combat here. Alright, opponent just gives up on it. He says, I know how bad Bust is at math. Dude's out there finger counting. He's probably doing it terribly. GG, my man. All right. And, man, I hope you all got in the game. I don't know if they sorted it out or not, but as the patch came up, it says, hey, here's the Path of Champions. And I was like, oh, no. I was at least in the lucky bunch. I selected no thank you. I would like to play the thing in the future or whatever, however that was worded. I didn't pick the take me back to the old lands. And so I pushed the button and then like I saw that the Path of Champions was like still there and it was trying to make me fight Ezreal or something. And I was like, oh, fuck that. Let me check Reddit. And so Reddit said that if you had the Path of Champions turn up and you clicked see ya in the future or play the future mode, whatever, then you could just restart the game. And if you picked the old one, you were just fucked. And so it's wild to see it turn out like that. It blows my mind that stuff slips through the cracks and they're able to just miss it, you know? I don't know if... I mean, I assume that happened on, like, literally every game mode. It wasn't just on PC. I don't play on phone. I just play on PC for the most part. I thought that was wild. All right, we're starting to get some stats going. Wish we had an answer to the Lantern. We can try and take care of it next turn, but he's not gonna block anything here. Maybe we should have attacked because now he can play a small fairy. But I think I'm cool to trade with an assistant librarian here. Okay. And we can just try and get excited the Lantern next turn. He's going to get the mana out of it once, but he shouldn't be able to get it twice. Interesting. Guess he is going to get the mana out of it twice. That's a lucky boom on the chimes. Look at this. I mean, granted, we have played two dudes that generate, but we've got 10 in deck, and dude, he only has 12. We did just hit 3, but feels like we're super far ahead of him in terms of the chimes doing stuff. Ugh. I mean, I'm just gonna give up on the get excited now. This doesn't do enough on this board. I do love me some fairies, though. I gotta cycle back to this. I've been having so much fun before the new cards came out and playing with fairies. I don't know if Bard is the answer, but I've certainly done quite a bit of dabbling with the fairy folk. We can block this one. We have the elusive Esmuth, but I think we'll let this go for the turn. We might need to be using the bonus onto the Flame Chompers. Didn't hit any chimes. A little unfortunate. Alright. Well, let's at least make him pay the price for this one. No free rainbow fish for your first play. Alright, so we lose Esmuth like this. Or I think we can realistically just hook his Lantern way down yonder. His blocks here aren't great. He can put Bard in front of the 3-2, but that's not a huge deal. Okay, that could have gone worse. Now we're back to this kind of same spot as before. I want a unit in hand to soak up the chimes, but we don't have any good discards to the Poro Cannon, especially after we're starting to load up with more Bard attacks. So we'll take it kind of slow. See if we can't find a unit. Sorry, the deck tracker is not working over here. I noticed it earlier. It works with the normal champions, but it doesn't work with Bard, and it doesn't work with Jhin. That's kind of a problem. I mean, we can spend a ton of burn onto Bard, but it's like, how do we ever win this game if we're just spending all of our burn spells on these units? I think we're going to struggle to win this game anyways, but I think what we have to be looking to do is we'll take the hit from the Lantern, we'll block Bard with something, and then we're going to have to just try and chunk in some elusive damage. We can hook the Lantern out of the way. We can get in for 3 with our elusives. Ew, this is gross. Okay. Okay, I tell you. Alright, so we gotta block something. The Bard's the easy one here. And I think we want to just go ahead and discard our bird. And then we need to be hitting some chimes for our Daring Poros here. Well, that's a thing. We hit a Sumpworks map. So we might be able to burn them out here. We didn't hit any chimes, which is abysmal. This gets us to 5 damage. Don't care about your Lantern. There's a Daring Poro. Sumpworks map because I know what I'm about. We'll boost the weaker unit here. Hook the Bard way down yonder. And then we should be lethal here next turn if he doesn't have any interactivity. Fuck. Damn it, dude. We had that set up so well. Just straight up play and wallop. Okay. Okay. Had it planned so well. We maximized every opportunity. Let's see what we can do now. Maybe we can survive this one and pick up another burn spell. Yep, those are getting blocked. See if he comes in with any of these other dum-dums. I'd say the squad's coming in, yeah. Alright. So 6, we have to block everything. That's only 4. We can save Bard. We do it like this, we fall to 1. So we died a pokey stick. Okay. This at least gives us a shot if we pick up a whatchamacallit, a Flame Chompers. So if we get the Flame Chompers into the elusive when we get 3 damage in with Bard, I think it's worth the risk of dying to a pokey stick. Alright. Bard's gonna draw us the Flame Chompers. Oh, fuck you, dude. Just have it all. Oh my gosh, and we just hit a monster elusive while we were at it. So how do we go about this now? We can get excited the Esmus. We have to give up a burn spell to do it though. Alright, that's happened. Here's the dude. Take him to 1, and then we can draw a Mystic Shot. We deserve it. We deserve the Mystic Shot. Wallop. I mean, not surprised, I guess. Sure. Just have it all, why don't you? Jesus. Okay. On to the next one. All right, Bard and Lorelei. Let's hit it. I haven't seen too much Lorelei. I've played against her a few times in these practice games, but she definitely feels like the least common champion running around. I'm surprised we haven't been running into more Annie. I've only played against Annie a handful of times as well, but I've played against Annie more than Lorelei. I'm tempted though. It's like I'm seeing lots of angles with that Buru dude that's meant to give the tentacle attack. Whatever he's called, there's the 3 attack dude that lets a 1-cost unit attack. That's another one that I've been pretty interested in with Annie, in that it can it's a skill, and so that works with Annie, and then it also works with Misfortune. So we'll see. We'll see. It's like I don't really want to get too involved at this point. I mean, we can safely cycle something, but I think we want to cycle like a Poro Cannon and still just hang on to our Flame Chompers. It would be nice if we could suit up our Flame Chompers this turn. We're a little short of that, but maybe that's just what we build up to next turn. Then we don't have to feel as bad about losing out on it. Okay. Okay. Does suck we can't do that and play Bard, though. Another Flame Chomper, you say? We'll see what happens. We have like a lot of board control here. Plays Lorelei, sure. I think I still feel okay with this. It does help to level her up a little bit. She's going to see herself deal some damage, but these attacks seem good. Oh no, shit! I thought we had. Oh, this is still fine. I thought we had the elusive support dude on the board. Okay, I'm all right with that. We're gonna draw like 5 chimes this turn. Nope. All right. Doing tentacle stuff. I bet we get to boom him this turn with the suit up. I bet they don't see it coming. Well, she's gonna be big, right? Only a 3 attack. Portions of this can go wrong, but I think this should be okay most of the time. He shouldn't be able to like really affect the Lorelei until after combat, like play Tentacle Smash, right, to take down our Flame Chompers. He plays it onto Bard. Huh. Interesting. Oh, the tentacle thing strikes. Okay, I was like that. I did the mathematics on that, bruh. He has 5 health and you're doing 3 damage. Okay. Alright, I'll take it back. I'll take it back. So let's see. I think we want to just go ahead and get our attack in. I've seen tentacles or ideal 15. Okay, we can play burn spells on her. Let's go ahead and get the attack in, and then I'm just gonna Mystic Shot Lorelei in the middle of combat. I mean, we're realistically close to just burning him out, right? If we hit for 5, then we can just burn him out. Is there a drain card in Bilgewater now? I don't know. I'm not risking it. If there is, it's slow. Burn spells to the face place. The way the game was meant to be. Got him. GG. There's the A&E and the Jhin. Have we covered off on all the champions? Yeah, we've covered them all off. Now we covered them all off in the last 2 games. Nailed it. So here we want to keep our early game stuff. Definitely keeping the birds. See if we can't find any other cheap plays. Uh-oh. It's our boy. It's our boy Legion Rearguard. Okay. Kinda awkward. We need to stop playing units here. Because I don't want to cycle out the stress test or this other card right now, and so we can stress test next turn. Or we can just draw Flame Chompers. Either way. It's like the slightly awkward. I don't really want to be dropping the Flame Chompers this turn. Let's do the stress test and see what turns up. And if it needs to be discarded, we can just discard it. We can't just cycle out the get excited to the Zonite Urchin.
For the Empire.
Okay.
The few.
Riot got me with quite the surprise with these. If you didn't catch the patch notes, Both the Crackshot Corsair and the Imperial Demolitionist caught a nerf. I get, people see the upcoming Annies and the Gens, and they say, "Oh man, this is going to be a cesspool of aggro. There's going to be so much aggro stuff." And Riot was like, "We got a brain, we knew what the fuck we were doing. We saw what this was about to come out, and it turns out." They were prepared for it. They were prepared for all the aggro stuff that was about to hit the meta, and they gave him a nerf right before it hit. Surprise. Oh, jeez. Oh, jeez, Riot. Let's get this out of here, though. Get this dude out, prevent the damage and everything. Feels good, man. Feels good. All right. So he's got Gen and a card. Our board should be better, and then of course our deck continually improves throughout the game, and so I think we're in a decent enough space here. He's thankfully got all these 1/1 units on the board for us to come and hook with the Flame Chompers. I appreciate it. One of the nice things you do for me. Okay. Block as you will. Remove Bard if you want. That's completely fine. Okay, seems decent. We drew our one of our copies of Viktor, which is kind of nice. Just bringing it, huh? All right. GG. GG. And so yeah, I've been meaning to say I do intend on doing a little bit with the Path of Champions. I'm not gonna sit around and play Path of Champions all the time. It was a lot easier when it was just a lab, and so I could still make like my daily expedition video. And then if I had to string out making a is this Bard and Zed? Well, we should hang on to the Mystic Shot against Zed, but then I think we want to get rid of the Flame Chompers and find Cycle. It was easy with that Path of Champions in that we could... well, number one, it was only like 45 minutes to an hour long. And then the second part of it was... I could like do part and then like record 2 games on one day and then the rest of it the next day or whatever. And I had the kind of free time to just do it, given that it wasn't my like regular thing. And so I could just put it out as a bonus video, if you will. But this can't be worth a Mystic Shot. But with like the length of time that the Path of Champions takes now, it's just slightly awkward in being like, oh, I'm going to make this like 4-hour video. And so we'll have to see. I'm not sure what like the world quests mean. That seems like it's something that might be shorter. Or otherwise, I think I'll just kind of like grind up to an arbitrary level and then do some playthroughs once I get up to that level. I haven't completely decided, but I do intend on doing something with the Path of Champions. If that's going to be the big game mode, then we should support it a little bit. I mean, I think it's fun. There's no denying that. I had a good time playing it, but it's just a little tough to make content for, given the length of time it takes for a run to work. This has been a pretty awkward hand. It's like this would have all worked out nicely if we still had that Flame Chompers, but without the Flame Chompers, this has been fairly awkward. Okay, you don't have to discard 2 to the rummage, right? You can click the single card, and then you can come over here and just click done. You used to not be able to do that. Now you can. Wasn't the greatest cycle, but we didn't have anything else to do here. Hey Riot, just make Slay the Spire with League of Legends stuff in it, right? that's what we were asking for with Path of Champions too. But no, it's like the problem I have with Path of Champions is it takes it gets progressively easier, right? And so that was always the thing with like if you want to like play Slay the Spire, you can make that as challenging as you want, right? I've sunk a few hundred hours into Slay the Spire. I'm good at these kind of games, and I haven't broken through. Like I think Ascension 17 is the highest I've gotten up to, and so I haven't even gotten to Slay the Spire at the highest levels. And I was hoping for that kind of style with the Path of Champions, to where things get more challenging as you progress, instead of having them get easier as you progress. I see the appeal, but as a competitive fella, it doesn't quite work as I would like. All right, this hand doesn't quite, because this hand isn't working how I would quite like it either. But we'll see what we can piece together. We at least still have decent ground-based attacks here. We have a support onto the Chompers. The Chompers can hook the Esmus, and then all of our ground-based units aren't great attacks. If he takes a value block onto our Esmus, then we can still Mystic Shot the Shadow Assassin. So things seem kind of okay, but hasn't gone how I've wanted it to. Whoa. It's actually returning a good unit. This card's pretty powerful, the Maker. I didn't give this guy a ton of credit, but this card has been incredibly powerful. Do we still feel the same way here? I think so. All right. I don't know. I just see somebody playing Zed, and I'm like, shit, we're dead, aren't we? Oh, shit, we're dead. He's got us. He's got us easy.
It lacks authenticity.
Yeah, very powerful out of the Maker. Just a pretty big tempo play. When I initially read the Maker, I thought it had to recall one of your own units. That's what you see out of a lot of this stuff coming out of Ionia. But it wasn't the case, clearly. as we just saw, that was not the case with how that card works. And so it's interesting. I'll have to give it a shot. Thousand-Tailed Saiyan's kind of brutal. Which is this? This isn't lethal, right? 8 plus 5. We have to get excited here. I don't really want to have to throw our dude away. So this would drop us to 4. Is that good enough? Okay, let's see. He can have a Twin Disciplines, but that doesn't give him a lethal. It just protects his dude. He'd jump back up to 11 with the Twin Disciplines. I guess he could play like Nopify or something here, but I think we need some things to go right with Viktor. Sure. Give me them good hex cores. What you got? Fearsome? Not exactly what we're looking for, dude. Needed a little bit more power than that. Alright, let's start with the hex core. See where we're at. I'm leaning towards like cycling away Bard, but then we have to decide if we want to play the Bell Ringer as well, which we probably do. We can play every card in our deck that we're going to draw. But I don't think there's much reason to play Bard on his own. He's not relevant here. Oh shit. That was not what I meant to do. Okay. Well, he's about to be relevant. Look out. Look out, Bard's about to be meaningful. God, that card's... Ugh. I definitely did not give it enough credit, the maker. Alright. I feel like that's where we have to stop. We still have a Mystic Shot on an Elusive if he blocks over here to the left. Then we have some dudes for his guys out here. We need to wait and see if we're going to die to an open next turn. We probably are. We have enough blockers for his ground-based crew, but we can't stop his Elusives. So let's play the Urchin.
I walk your path alone.
I don't know, guys. I don't know about this one. I don't think we're technically dead, but I don't think we could. I don't think we can draw out of this one. All right. GG. And lots of Bard today. A lot more than I expected. I haven't like quite picked up on it because I'm not used to playing this matchup yet, but I can tell that we're gonna get salty at some point with playing these Bard mirror matches, and we take a look and it's like, oh, we've put the same number of chimes into our deck, but I still have 15 and you still have 9, and so you drew 6 more than me. LOL, RNG is awesome. This is gonna be a fun day. Probably shouldn't have discarded that Flame Chomper in the last game. I think we should probably hang on to these. It's just such a pivotal card to the deck. Whoa, that's not what I expected out of the Flame Chomper's art. There's a bunch of them. Some dude, some bald guy hanging out. Alright, I guess you learn. Alright, what up, Zoe? Uh-oh. Uh-oh. Oh, I was gonna say if we hit on the Flame Chompers and just immediately get to take down Zoe, that's gonna be huge. We can still play this a little slow. Yep. So we'll definitely load up the Chompers now. Well, I guess if the top card of our deck's a unit, we may not immediately load, but okay. So it's kind of as we've seen in these previous games, I'm going to get the Flame Chompers down, and then I'm going to make sure we still have some Poros in our hand. I think we're okay to just go ahead and play one. That's probably enough to get him to just not attack with Zoe at this point as well. But I want to hang on to one in hand just to soak up chimes. This is a fairly crappy turn. I mean, I think we need to be playing suit up. It's a matter of where it goes. Do we want to suit up our Flame Chompers or do we want to suit up our Daring Poro? Now that he's played the Pale Cascade, this is an easy suit up onto our Flame Chompers. But we would have kind of needed to figure that out pre-combat. Maybe it's like we could have put the suit up onto the Poro and then Mystic Shot Zoe after he played Pale Cascade. Thoughtful noises. Dude plays Bard. Okay. The Serpent's a little more annoying. So we're going to have to Mystic Shot here. I don't quite want to lose our Poro. We can take the Bard hit. He's a free takedown next turn with our Flame Chompers loaded up with the Esmus. That might have been a bit of a greedy Mystic Shot, but we gotta get something going. Well, we got 17 chimes. He's got 17 as well. Everything appears to be even. Alright, well, let's see if he's got another Pale Cascade. Something's going down. Stun thing. That's fairly annoying. Alright. I can't bring myself to spend all of this burn onto Bard. I'm just going to go face with it. Get a Rummage. It's a pretty tempting draw too. These cards don't do very much. Our Bard and our Bard. Okay, that does some work. Get him on board, and then we get to draw the unit next turn with the Traveler's Call. Curious if I would want Traveler's Call in this deck. It feels just like a little bit too slow, but we do run into a lot of these spaces to where I just need something to do. Yeah, you're so far back, dude. Look at that. You only got the 12. We're at 20. Play some suit ups. Play some play some supports. Do any of these have stats? I don't know if there's a way to tell. All right, we're moving now. This 5/4 1-cost unit. Do we just want to wait till next turn for these? See if we don't draw something a little worse to discard. We're not going to kill him with an open attack. Don't think Meduli changes anything. I was like, whoa, he's bringing in his Bard. I'm fine to take 6. That's not a big deal. But I'll gladly drop his Bard with our Flame Chompers. Dude's huge. Just another Bard. Oh, wow. There's the Flame Chompers. Enjoy, my dude. Enjoy. We are rolling. Let's play the cheap one. It's bigger than our Sump Dredger anyways. Bard shit's going down. Enjoy. Kind of lame. Come on, dude. I thought we were here to have fun. All right, then. Zoe, who we want to take down? I think so. And does he have good blocks on these other things? Can't kill Bard. Okay. Can't. He has a good Esmus block here, so let's switch this around. Oh, we want our 6 health unit getting boosted. You're still gonna hook Zoe. 6/9 Bard gets to attack. Is that too risky? Nah, he needs to get a +3 to take down our Bard. Okay. I don't want to lose out on this. Like when you draw a chime, give a unit and play +1/+1. So if he's too greedy, then he's too greedy. That's fine. But it's like a +3 from Targon should be pretty tough to do. Uh-oh. He's going to show us how it's done. He's just going to drop the Scourge. He says, I see you doing a bunch of shit out here. Here comes the Scourge. Enjoy. He's got to think on it real hard. Must not have been the option he was looking for. What we at? We got 21 chimes. He's got 47. He's doubled with the Meduli. I still can't. Like, I wanted to try Meduli with in here, and then also use like the Sumpworks map. I just couldn't. I couldn't bring myself to do it. It didn't seem good enough. It was just like it was too slow. It's like once you've played him, you just want to draw more cards anyways. You don't want to be doing stuff to give out elusive. I'm getting a little worried here, though. It'd take me a while to realize this Esmuth's bonus is permanent. That really surprised me. I don't know how the other supports read, but they certainly last longer than that singular attack. Or they only last that singular attack, but here you can see our Zonite Urchin still has a +1/+1 bonus from Esmuth. So this guy, he's put in a lot more work than I expected. I thought this to be like one of the worst cards in the set, and that's usually the way it goes. I'll call out a card as being the worst one in the set, and then it actually turns out to be reasonable. But yeah, I can't envision how we win this game now, right? As I had said before, you know, you have to either have like an elusive or an overwhelm, and we have a couple of elusives, but we might be able to punch enough elusive damage in here, but it feels like we are pretty far behind now. I think we just want to keep the board clogged. Something like this, we get in for 4. This feels trashy. I thought we were churning so hard. Like I was like, man, how did we ever lose this game? We're like drawing and cycling with all these bards. We hit 2 cycle cards off of the bard cycles, and then just didn't come together. He did gain a ton of health off of the fangs. But so this can't be good. I've done the mathematics, and this is not good. Sure. Oh shit! It's like, look at this. You'd say sure, and it's a fucking 5/5. Oh man, this is bad. Get 100 chimes in here. All right. All right. We'll give it to you. We'll give it to you, my dude. And all right, let's get ourselves into this final battle. The last one on the day. Feeling good. This has been fun. It's always nice to have the new cards come out. And I hope to kind of see Riot continue with this cadence of new cards every 2 months, and then a balance patch in between. It's been pretty nice. Okay, against Talia Ziggs. This probably doesn't even have new cards in it, am I right? We did it. We found an Esmuth. I think that's who we want to drop here. It's like if his play is a like ruin or rock hopper, then we're not really losing out on too much. Like we miss a couple points of damage, but if he has to make like a Preservarium play or he doesn't get involved on the board, then it's pretty weak. Surprised he didn't trade. I don't know what he hopes to get better out of this. Little scary giving him the Endless Devout, but I think this is fine. So we got the big booms in our hand already. We're not worried about that stuff. All right, not bad. I'm ready for battle. Interesting. Not entirely sure why you would just drop a 2/1 onto this board where it's immediately going to die, but we'll take it. We'll take what we can get. All right, so he's going to be big next turn with the with the summoned units. So he'll have 3 blockers. Like, do we just need to immediately switch to this this Poro Cannon plan? I think we can start with a cycle and see what turns up. Or burn. Okay. Well, we're gonna have to discard the Mystic Shot. A little scary to come in and just take 10 from Talia. So we'll discard the Mystic Shot. We'll get the 2 Poros on board. Not gonna wait around on this. We do have to worry about something like a Quicksand, but it's a well, we can wait until combat to drop the suit up, but that's gonna be like the problematic thing is a Quicksand hitting. But at least like this, maybe he puts his blocks forward, then Quicksands, and then we get to follow up with the suit up, and he misses out on that extra damage. Okay, getting them to 2 would be pretty decent. They sometimes play Rite of Negation. We didn't play Rite of Negation too commonly in Talia Ziggs, but I know people certainly do. It's considering that Quicksand now. Mm-hmm. All right, and then he should... Ziggs makes this a little worse. I was going to say he should have a tough time lethaling us next turn, so I don't feel like we just have to like spew off the Get Excited. But like we're gonna take 3 off the Scrappy Bomb, 2 from the prep 2 turns from now. So that's essentially 5, taking us to 11. We definitely can't beat an Absolver. Not real hype about this. not my hypest moment, 2022. Alright, he was never blocking. That was it? We drew stress testing? Yeah, that's lame. Lame. Alright. This this Daring Poro doesn't matter, so let's just go ahead and throw the block in front of Ziggs. See if we can't get there. Remove fleeting. Yeah. No. It's gonna be lame, I can tell. People these days, am I right? Alright, need that get excited. That's not it. That's not it either. How big are you? 2? We just die if we play this. Alright. Next turn. Get excited. Come to me. We'll have to remember that when we have the fleeting stress test in our hand. That counts as a discard at the end of the turn, and we get a free draw the next turn. I haven't played tons of this card, but this deck definitely needs the discards in it. Alright, here we go. Get excited off the top for the last game. Here comes. Here comes. Not today. Dang. Alright, GG's, my dude. So, alright, let's get this deck pulled up. We can talk about it a little bit more. And so, there's a couple of interesting points with it. And the first one is, like, what do we think of Bard, right? And how do we best take advantage of Bard? Is going Turbo Bard the way to do it? And I'm kind of skeptical. This is like the kind of like struggle that you have with a deck like this is Bard gets better as the game progresses, right? It just like that was kind of like one of our initial concepts with Bard is like, what if we just play a deck where the only cards are Bard, right? If we don't really care about our champions. I'm actually kind of thinking in the brain piece of something to put together with that, looking to just play like a Galio based deck with Bard. But if he's just in your deck, and you need some time to get like the charms built up, right? It's going to take you some time to draw them. It's going to take you some time to get the density that you need in your deck for them to be like drawn quickly. And so, is this like strategy the way to go about it? To where I'm just going to just draw a ton of cards as fast as I can. A lot of the times you're just cycling when your deck doesn't have that density there, right? If we have, on turn 3 of the game, we have 9 chimes in our deck and we have like 30 cards in our deck. At that point, you're what? That makes you like 1 out of 3. Is that right? If we have 10 charms and 30 cards in our deck, then we're roughly like 1 in 3 to draw one. And so the cycle just isn't as good early. But we're like piecing together this strategy to where we're trying to like chain off a bunch of cycle in the early game, and then it just doesn't quite play out. And so, like in the terms of this deck, do I think this is a thing? Probably not. I don't exactly like how we went about it. I think you need like additional chime cards to make it work, right? I think you're looking in the early game for that for the Bird. What's his name? Bird, is that his actual name? Yeah, Bird and Esmuth. Like you want these in the early game because they immediately chime, but then you don't want to have to cycle until the mid game. But you need to cycle to get your Flame Chompers on board, and it's just kind of like this weird balance that doesn't quite work well. And so, like I understand that we could have played things like less aggressively in terms of our cycle, but that's just kind of like an odd balancing act that I don't think the cards live here for that to work out nicely. And so maybe at some point in the future, if there's more chime support, this kind of thing will work, or if there's more draw, cycle, discard support kind of things, maybe that will work then, right? We found like lots of decks that really love the Flame Chompers. We play a lot of Draven Scion. We play a lot of Yordles in Arms. Those were 2 decks that we took to seasonals, but it's not like the core of the deck is the Flame Chompers, right? We've done videos with that as well. If you want to see our like Mecha Yordles in Arms style videos, we've asked the question, what do we do if we want to just be all in on the Flame Chompers? And with those decks, it worked okay. Here, it's a little bit more up in the air. So I don't think this deck is like really the way to go about it, and I think that Bard is probably going to be more of a slow burn. And so I'm kind of curious how those kind of decks look. Like I'm fairly okay with. I think I mean I want to try it, but like playing the Demacia Challenger package, where we have the Challenger Bird, the Broadwing, oftentimes the 2/4 Challenger, whatever he's called, along with a Brightsteel Protector, and then Esmuths and like Esmuths working with our Challengers, and then maybe even Bird. Like I'm kind of like thinking it could be okay and want to cycle back to that, but I think the kind of Turbo Bard idea here probably just doesn't cut it. And so at the end of the day, again, I think I am spot on with Bard in one thing. Like I've been wrong about a lot. I'm wrong very often and very frequently. I was completely wrong about Esmus. She seems fine. But with Bard, I think you have to have that elusive, that overwhelm, or that rally. And so I am kind of interested in Overwhelms Bard. I'm not sure if that's a thing. I think the kind of like Challengers Galio Bard seems a little bit more likely to work than that. But we'll see. It's early. The day is young. The night is not upon us. We have to think about and work on this a little bit. And so we'll prod on, trudge forward, and get it going. And so again, sorry we didn't play any Annie today. I'm still wasn't happy with how that was coming together to where I was happy with Bard, and so this is the video we put forth, but she'll be coming up shortly. But nonetheless, that is going to do it for us today. I hope everyone enjoyed the video. You learned how to turbo your Bard a little bit better. You maybe learned a thing or two along the way. Had a good time watching. This is Bust, and we thank you for being here.